In this video, you're going to learn what you can do if your game is inconsistent. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. Now, before we get into the video, if you're an athlete who's looking to improve your mindset, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I put out new videos each day on sports psychology and mental training. Now, when you're an athlete, you want to be consistent because consistency equals more success for you. But here's the trouble. What does it actually take for you to be consistent? And can you will yourself to have consistent performances? What I've found through working with athletes is that focusing too much on having consistent outcomes can actually hurt your chances of being consistent. What you want to do is try to figure out what's something that you can focus on and be consistent with that is in your control. And that in and of itself is going to put you in a better position to have consistent outcomes. I like to break down consistency into a coach's view of consistency and an athlete's view of consistency. Now, a coach's view of consistency is probably the consistency that you're focused on the most. And that is consistency based on the outcome. Now, why does a coach focus on that? Because a coach has to choose the lineup. A coach has to figure out who's going to be the best player that's going to give the team the best chance of winning. So they're focused on making different decisions. But you as an athlete, if you're focused too much on that coach's view of consistency, what this can lead to is increases in fear of failure, increases in performance anxiety, increases in perfectionism, because you're focused too much on the outcome, what's going to happen. So your view of consistency, an athlete's view of consistency, needs to be a little bit different. It needs to be focused on the process and focused on being consistent with your approach, being consistent with the way that you approach practices, the way that you approach games, because that in and of itself, if done consistently, is going to lead to greater outcomes and more consistent outcomes. So, what's one simple tip that you can use as an athlete to begin being a little bit more consistent? Well, what you can do is figure out what's the best mindset that I need to compete. When you figure out that mindset, then what you do is you focus on getting into that mindset during practices and games. By focusing on getting into that mindset more, that's going to give you a better chance of succeeding. Because if you do your initial research as well as you can, then you've truly identified the best mindset for you that's going to give you the best chance of succeeding. And so if you really focused on getting into that mindset on a consistent basis, don't you think that that's going to give you a better chance of actually succeeding and getting the outcomes that you want? So to figure out this mindset, what you can do is you can brainstorm what are kind of the top performances that come to your mind from your career. And then when you've outlined those top performances, get very detailed about what was I thinking during that time? What was I feeling? What was I focused on? And then what you can do is come up with a very simple mindset statement. This mindset statement might be that I was focused on feeling relaxed and confident. I was focused on enjoying myself and having fun. I was focused on going out there and proving everybody else wrong. Now, how do you actually get into that mindset? Well, there are certain tools that you can use, such as self-talk, visualization, mindfulness, performance objectives. And so what I've done is I've put some links into the description below to some videos I made on each of those different tools. So go ahead and watch those to learn how you can use those tools and then apply those tools. But the baseline principle is that if you want to perform consistently, you have to focus on consistently doing something that's in your control. And getting into the right mindset, that's always in your control. You can control the mindset you have as you go into a game. And by focusing more on getting into the right mindset for yourself, so the mindset that's going to help you perform your best, that's going to give you the best chance of getting the consistent outcomes that you want and aligning with that coach's view of consistency on more of a regular basis. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We put out new videos each week on sports psychology and mental training. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about one-on-one mental performance coaching, head over to SuccessStartsWithin.com.